Okay, I should be back now for good. My mic cutting out then. Um, so my mic was cutting out. I keep getting these like random problems every stream or so. So it'll be like I'll go for a good little bit and then my internet will cut out, or I'll go for a really good bit and then my mic will stop working. So I'm really just kind of dealing with it as it goes. Uh, what do I think? What was I talking about? Oh, so I was talking about the rabbit hole I went down because I was doing full philosophy thing, trying to prove an argument. Went down a rabbit hole, saw these like psych to go videos where it would be like what your color says about you, what your favorite food says about you, which I went down the rabbit hole because I started watching more and more of those videos because it was hilariously funny because I didn't think you could really tell by like a food or a color about somebody's whole personality, which can't really. It's kind of a. It's kind of a little harder to do. You can't really cause like I could like red, and that could say, hey, maybe I'm an aggressive person or emotional, but I can be the exact opposite. My entire personality is the opposite. It's more of being super serious to the point where I'm like dying. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's drop it on the flow. Let me drop it for you. Anyway, what I was saying was it was kind of funny. It's like, oh yeah, what this says about you. Honestly, I don't think I was the target in said video for said video. Why is there no lighting? I need to fix my lighting. But anyway, I don't think I was the target for said video because, well, a lot of those videos seem to have. I mean, it's a target for generally people, but it has a lot of the topics that aren't something I would want to watch all the time. I was just bored and I went down the rabbit hole with it because I was trying to prove a point with somebody, and then I got caught on another thing. But it was the idea of it kind of reminded me of like it was like crazy stuff too. And then there would be like five. You could look at the other videos that they would have, and it'd be like five signs somebody has a crush on you. They talk to you. Duh, that's normal. That's how people interact. They talk to you. I don't know. There were other things. There's one about intelligence where it was completely wrong. Only say that because I believe that I am a dumbass. So that feels counterintuitive to like think about it that way. But like it's like all these examples, all these things that people who ooh, it is really grainy without the lights. Um I should turn the lights on because it's trying to light me up and it makes the thing all grainy. I will turn on a light in a second. But what I was saying is like it is kind of funny because it's like, oh, you can you can tell these things. It felt um like a pseudoscience almost, although it probably is backed up. But like it felt it was very much not targeted to me. But back to the intelligence thing, it was like um because I was like, oh, I have all these signs. I'm socially awkward a little bit. I got a little bit of these things. I can be a little more reserved sometimes. This, that, the other. Blah blah. I do music. This, that, the other. But I believe honestly that I'm like the biggest dumbass in the world. I don't know. I believe that I'm stupid. I can't really. I've done the only way I could prove that is through test, but my SAT scores have shown not so much that I'm stupid, just so much that I'm bad at taking tests, which I guess means I'm stupid. I don't know. People tell me I'm not, but I believe I am because I think I have no common sense, and I feel like that is something you really need to be smart because it's like, oh, you got all this knowledge, but you don't know what to do that. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze for some reason that I can't really explain. Seriously, I have no clue. Okay, never mind. I didn't sneeze because I talked about it. I want to turn on a light real quick. I'll be right there. Hold on. Actually, I might turn on this light. Oh, there it is again. I might actually for real now sneeze. Hold on. I did for real sneeze. Okay. That was pretty crappy lighting. Hold on. I'm just gonna use the overhead light. Um because that seems to be the one that works. Or I'll use this light. How about we use this light over here? Yeah. I think it's a lot warmer, not super bright. That would be my closet, though. I could just sit in there and do this, but I'd rather not because it would be right over me, and I'd be doing basically a live stream in the closet. That'd be the weirdest thing I've ever. It wouldn't be the weirdest thing I've ever heard, but it would be kind of weird. Anyway, wow, I have such a bad camera. Whatever, I can't really. I could afford one, but not many of you are probably actually watching, so the camera thing probably doesn't matter. Um. Anyway, I was just saying, yeah, I don't think I have any intelligence whatsoever, and I value common sense with intelligence because I feel like if you have knowledge, you got to be able to apply it and be able to make sense of it, and in general, well, know how to act and like how to problem solve situations pretty easily, which I have a terrible time doing because people will just like, oh, I forgot, I can't think of an example really, but they'll be like, oh, I'm gonna move this, and then for some reason they think I'm gonna read their mind and know exactly where they're moving. And so I'll just like stand there and they'll be like, Joe, you're in the way. I'm like, oh, okay, sorry. And then they get annoyed and like I'm supposed to know, but like I can't read your mind. How am I supposed to know? But that's beyond the point. What I was talking about is the Psych2Go thing, which honestly reminds me of like astrology in a little bit, the whole zodiac sign thing. Like the what's your sign? My sign is I don't even know what my sign is. I was born in January. Do the math. Um yeah, that stuff is dumb. It's like, oh, it's the same idea. It's so absurd to the point where it's like, oh, forget zodiacs, to where like even in memes they're like, oh, forget zodiac signs. What's your favorite color? That's how pointless it is. So yeah, that's my little spiel on that. It's like sort of a it feels fake in a way or disingenuous. Not really disingenuous, but it seems odd that you'd be like, "Oh, this tells you this." It's like, can I really can a color that I like tell me everything about my personality? First of all, no. Second of all, it won't tell you anything. But what do I do? I don't really know. So, um, yeah, that's been like my spiel about psychology and the pseudoscience of knowing knowing things about a person's personality without actually knowing anything and basically guessing and using a basic thing. Um, yeah, I know I kind of jumped into that. I don't really have small talk or transitions. That's a thing. Um, but I don't know. I kind of wanted to talk about that and in that aspect of relation to people, because there are people out there who think that sort of idea works, where it's like you can tell a person's personality entirely based on one thing that they may like. I mean, sure, you could probably tell from my personality. You could probably tell at least that I like guitar. That is an aspect. I don't think it takes up my whole personality, though. It could. I think it could, or it does. But I have like the way I talk, the way I am. Sure, my personality is probably dry. I don't know because I don't think about it that much. But I should probably turn that down because I can see the audio clipping. Okay, I think it's better. I think it's better. Um, I think it's not clipping as much anymore. Is it clipping? Please tell me if it's clipping or not. The audio is louder than it should be. If it sounds like I'm screaming. Um, yeah, I've been talking for a little bit too long. Anyway, there are people that believe that they can tell everything about you from one thing. That's cool, I guess. In some way or another, it's an idea. The other thing I have is basing your personality around a sort of around something that doesn't exist and is basically just like you saying you want to identify as something as personality type, being like, oh, I'm a Gemini or whatever, or like, oh, uh or I'm like, or I'm Pam from The Office, or I'm Phoebe from Friends, or this, that, and the other. You get the association, but like your personality does not need to develop around something that is basically, I don't know, nothing, because one, Phoebe's played by, the two of those are done by actors doing like comedy. One comedy and one I don't even know what to call it. I'll let you guess which one's the comedy and which one's the whatever else. Anyway, the thing I was saying about the zodiac thing, though, when I said the Gemini, it's the idea that you could be so fixated on like some basic personality type and be like, "Oh, that's me." It's like, of course it's you. It's literally everybody. I'm gonna lose my voice. So it's gonna go raw because it's like I'm talking too much, and I think I'm getting sick slowly. Although less than a week ago, I tested negative for the virus, so I don't know what's coming on me, but something. And I've been vaccinated, so there's that. Yeah, Oh, I've also been recently getting into like the whole concept of like the iceberg, where it's like, oh, the deeper it goes, the more either unknown or obscure or just fucking batshit insane the thing gets. Like, it starts from something like really simple and easy and normal, and then it gets into like something really insane. Like, you could do one with music. Um, you could, I don't know, you could do one with like, I don't know, metal, and it'll start with like heavy metal, and it'll go down to like some random thing that doesn't resemble it. It's like it's just like insane. I don't know because I haven't seen an iceberg like that in so long, but um, and it's the concept of iceberg, not an actual iceberg. It's like the picture, and then it's like topics going down in a list, sort of like a list order. Um, anyway, I've been watching those. They're kind of fun because then you get to learn about like different like insane and more insane stuff each time. It's like, what's the craziest thing on um yeah, so there's that, and then but yeah, everything's going good. How are you doing, my one person? Thanks for joining me for these. It really helps to actually have one person. Although I have a friend who does not like said he doesn't care about anything, and he just kind of messes around with streams and messes around with band practice in general, and I don't like to badmouth it, but I do need to go on that for a little bit, kind of talk about it. If you haven't noticed, whenever I kind of try to stream with him or something, topics kind of are short. I mean, they're short already, but they get really shorter, and you can't think outside the box. That sort of thing. You can't really think of other a good something to go on, some story to tell. I can usually think of it when I'm by myself because it's a lot easier. I don't know, in general, and yeah. So yeah, there's that, and then uh, he's an okay bass player and stuff, and he likes to mess around. And on the last stream, he messed around the whole time and was like sitting on the floor just making noise, like he was like trying to sing everything. But that's fine. Um, I do want to do something. Hold on. I'm gonna start. I do have technically a story, but not like in a general sense. This is not a real event in any way, shape, or form. I literally was. Ew. I'm now just gonna share something that which one is it? I have to go. I gotta find it. Da, da, da. Okay, here it is. So apparently have apparently have a whole story written where where it's kind of weird, but I wanted to kind of give some backstory to it a little bit before I read it, and then laugh at it because I definitely don't remember half of it, and then, like, it's gonna be, like, something to make fun of because I like making fun of myself. I think it's something I wrote in the past. Being as something I wrote in the past is probably cringy, so I can cringe at myself, laugh at myself. You can laugh with me, or cringe with me, or just do whatever because you're just one person. Anyway, some background information. I was on a trip or something, um, and I wrote the story while on the trip. It was like a late night. I stayed up late. Everyone was in bed. I was supposed to go like back to the room and go to sleep. Instead, I like fell asleep on the couch, and then I woke up like an hour later with this like idea for a story. So when it's like 2 in the morning, I'm writing this story out on a Google Doc, and yeah, that was weird. And also at the time, was having some struggles with like some sort of something I thought might be sleep paralysis. I'm not sure. I never got clarification on what that actually was, but there were some sort of creepy event going on. I could not move at all, and it was like I was asleep, but my eyes were open. I don't know what you call that. I honestly don't even know why or how that happened, but I still kind of remember it because it was happening a lot at that time. Um, I'm not sure how it happened, but it happened that time. So yeah, that's sort of the background of the story. For what made me write, possessed me to write a random story. Also, a lot of like weird things that were going on at the time as well. There were some. I think I still had a girl then, and then there were like people who thought I was like smoking weed and stuff for some reason. So I was like, hey, let me write that into the story. Um, and for some reason, it puts one of my strangest fears in there, which is being run over by a Ford F-150. I don't know. It has to, for some reason, it's exactly a Ford F-150 that makes me scared. It's not just getting run over, it's being run over by a Ford F-150. So, the crazy stuff going on. I was a sophomore. Honestly, I still think I don't even want to read it now because that's how like in my head I'm getting about this because it was so I'm trying to think of like things that were going on and everything that was going on at the time, and I was like, oh wait, this thing's probably pretty bad. This thing is probably terrible, but hey, uh, maybe I'll read a little bit. All right, I'll read like it's like 2 pages long. I'll read like a little bit. Okay. I'm not good at audiobooks or anything, but I'm gonna do this. So it starts out as I ascended into the mountainside, I began to realize I was losing air. I began to gasp for breath, but can't find any air. Which generally, if you know what gasping for breath is, it's because you can't find air. Can't get any air. So already I'm grammatically judging myself. So here we go. This will be fun. I'm fading from consciousness, only to be shaken by a car hitting me. As I as I lay there, I wait and moan in pain and shock. I awaken to find myself in a sweat. My wife is looking dead at me. A look of concern comes across her face. Another nightmare, she asks. I don't know why I said it that way. Yes, I say, but it's also vivid, almost as almost as if I was physically inside the nightmare. It's okay, I'm here, she says, but that's not comforting at all. I gotta kiss her and tell her that I'm fine, but I'm not fine. The last time I had a nightmare like that, it ended up coming true. That was how I had lost my sister. So already, this throws you in with random stuff. So said character being me, for some reason it was weird. I wrote me into it. It's like for some reason. It's like when those like writer directors do stuff and then they star in their own movie. This is like the writing version of that. It's the writing equivalent. I'm gonna keep going though. This is just, like terrible, but so you're probably cringing. I'm cringing at it because I think it's terrible. Because I'm already thinking of like plot holes and stuff in it. Um, okay, right. This is where it goes insane for no reason. Right then, another car comes swerving right into the bedroom, and boom, I'm dead. I awaken in a sweat to the sound of the alarm. It turns out it was all one big nightmare, and I didn't have time to think about it. I had to get ready for school. Okay, so for some reason, it's one big nightmare where a car crashes through a window, and being as the biggest fear, one of my bigger fears is being run over by a Ford F-150. And it's specific. It's specifically that. I don't know why. Probably because it means fix or repair daily, but that's besides the point. Um, Maybe because I don't really trust them or anybody. I don't trust anybody, but that's funny. For some reason, I get run over in my own story. Turns, I didn't have time. I go to a Christian private school, which is true. I do. Um, I was forced to go there when my parents found out I like to listen to metal. That that's not actually true. That was a secondary thing I made up as a reason. The real reason they wanted to send me there was because I was having a bad time at Blythewood. Ooh, shoot, I shouldn't have said that. Oh well, at the other school I was going to called Blythewood, um, because I was kind of getting like bullied and I'd be like in sort of trouble. I've got stories for that too. I've got some weird stories from that. Middle school was weird, but I'll get there in a bit. I'm gonna finish reading for a little bit, and then I've been going there for about a year now, and I like it for the most part. Plus, I got my first girlfriend there. That is true. So I wrote around true things that happen, but then put things that weren't, and then it was just weird. So things are going pretty well for me. Not anymore, sort of. I'm I'm in a little bit of pickle now, but I finish putting my clothes and go downstairs to get my things together. I I start to wonder why my nightmare specifically involved me being fatally injured by a car, which yeah, I still think is odd that I'd be fatally injured by a specific kind of car, truck, SUV. Um, Hold on. Is it something I did once, or is it just another nightmare? Okay, that's the end of that. Anyway, that helped me think of a story of something that actually happened. That the this is what that's how I kind of thought of the other thing the other week. I just started reading something I wrote, and I was like, oh, this happened at some said time that I wrote said thing. Anyway, that was a weird story about being murdered by a Ford F-150. It was that is a great is that's a great thing. Yeah. So that's the thing. Now I can kind of talk about this. Okay, so I can say middle school was a weird time for real. I mean, that's normal for everybody, but I mean like yeah, some of the I wasn't having a good time. By having a good time, I mean I wasn't doing well at all. I had several things throughout that were really bad, and probably I got in trouble a couple times for things that were really bad. My parents are probably home now, so I'm probably gonna end it. But yeah, I had a lot of things going on. I'll probably go into this and start doing it as a normal story, and I'll probably do it as a video. Um, yeah, I'll do it as a video. That's what I'll do. Um, and that'll be like my first video of the story series. So yeah, hope you enjoyed hanging out, listening to my weird F-150 runover story, that I wrote sometime. And yeah, have a good night.